We've all dreamed it, of jumping aboard a sleek starship, rocketing past Pluto, and soaring into the great unknown. A new Earth, orbiting a distant sun, untouched by war, pollution, or politics. A second chance, a clean slate, a future no longer shackled to the mistakes of our past. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. We will never leave the solar system. Not in 50 years. Not in 500. Not even in 5,000. Why? Because space isn't just vast. It's lethal, unforgiving, and utterly indifferent to our dreams. And everything you've been told about escaping Earth is wrong. Not just inaccurate, but fundamentally broken. Stick with me and I'll prove to you, step by step, why humanity is stuck here. Not by choice, but by cosmic design. And why maybe that's not a tragedy, but a necessary realization. Let's start with fantasy. It's the 24th century. Earth is ruined. Rising seas have swallowed cities. Forests are ash. The air itself chokes life. Humanity, desperate, looks up to the stars, and the stars seem to answer. As the oceans reclaim our concrete empires and the skies turn acidic, the final hope becomes a launch pad. We imagine salvation not beneath our feet, but millions of miles away. Telescopes, vast machines orbiting the moon, detect hundreds of Earth-like planets. Blue orbs, sparkling with promise, orbiting distant suns. Their atmospheres seem breathable. Their temperatures are familiar. We build massive ships, generation arcs the size of skyscrapers. Engines burn like dying stars. Entire nations pool resources, form alliances, and set timelines. We say goodbye to Earth and vanish into the void. It's a beautiful story. It sells books. It makes movies. It gives us hope, but it's not our future. Because despite the telescopes, the ships, and the fantasies, we can't go. Not really, not ever. Why do we even want to escape? There are only three real answers: to explore and learn, to harvest new resources, and to survive a catastrophe. The first scientific curiosity is noble, and it's already happening. Robotic probes, AI-driven satellites, and rovers are doing the work. We don't need boots on alien soil to understand it. We are already expanding the frontier of knowledge without risking human lives or wasting trillions on unfeasible missions. The second resources is a red herring. The moon, Mars, and asteroid belt hold untapped wealth. Gold, water, rare metals, even frozen gases. No need to go interstellar. Not yet. Not when we haven't even scratched the surface of what's available in our own celestial backyard. The third, that's the scary one: survival. What if Earth becomes uninhabitable? What if we poison the air, or blow ourselves up, or get struck by a cosmic bullet? Isn't a backup planet a good idea? A new Earth, far away from this one's chaos? Maybe, but here's the catch. Even if we could find a perfect Earth twin, right temperature, right atmosphere, right gravity, right everything, we couldn't get there. Not fast enough, not in time, not in one piece. The math, the physics, the logistics, they don't care about our desperation. In the 1970s, at the height of the space age, people truly believed that Mars or the moon could host new human civilizations. They were wrong, wildly wrong. Not because the dream wasn't beautiful, but because it ignored the most brutal fact in all of space travel: distance. Let's look at the numbers. Earth's population grows by around 80 million people every year. To maintain even our current population, just to break even, we'd need to launch 80 million humans to space every year. That's 219,000 people per day, every single day, forever. Can't do it. Won't happen. Even if we could, those colonies couldn't support themselves. The technology, the food, the atmosphere, it would all come from Earth. And if Earth is dying, what then? Colonies rely on infrastructure, and space colonies, they rely on miracles. Colonizing another world won't save us. At best, it might preserve a few thousand survivors, floating relics of a civilization that once was. A planet B is a myth. It's not salvation. It's a lifeboat on fire. Let's say you ignore all that. You believe we'll build the ship, survive the launch, and set course for a nearby star. Great. So, where to? The closest option is Proxima Centauri, 4.24 light-years away. Sounds close, right? Wrong. With today's fastest spacecraft, it would take over 70,000 years to get there. That's not science fiction. That's reality. Imagine launching a ship in the time of the ancient pyramids and having it arrive today. That's the scale we're talking about. Even if we invented engines 1,000 times faster, something we haven't even come close to, we'd still be talking about centuries, multiple human lifetimes. Entire generations born, raised, and buried before even seeing their destination. And if you think we'll just go light speed, think again. Light speed isn't just fast. It's the cosmic speed limit. You can't go faster. Not with rockets, not with warp drives, not with alien tech. Einstein wasn't guessing. He proved it. And the deeper you dive into physics, the more unbreakable that limit becomes. As you approach the speed of light, your mass increases. The energy needed to keep going rises exponentially. To actually hit light speed, you'd need infinite energy. And guess what? We don't have it. Not even close. Even reaching a fraction of light light speed, say 10%, would require technology we haven't invented, using materials we don't possess, powered by energy we can't generate. And if you somehow built it, you'd still need to survive the interstellar minefield. Because space isn't empty. It's filled with micrometeoroids moving at deadly speeds, interstellar dust capable of tearing a ship apart, radiation storms that can fry electronics and DNA. Traveling at even 10% of light speed turns every grain of dust into a bullet, and there's no windshield strong enough to stop them. There is no armor we can build to protect ourselves from the raw violence of deep space. Let's assume we don't need to go fast. Let's take it slow. Build a massive ship, pack in families, create a little ecosystem on board. They live, they die, their children carry on. Generational ships. Sounds poetic, but here's the nightmare. A ship like that would need to be entirely self-sufficient. No resupply, no repairs from Earth. Everything, food, water, medicine, air, must last centuries. And not just last, but renew, sustain, and adapt through unknown conditions. How? How do you grow food in zero-G for hundreds of years? How do you maintain social stability in a tin can with no exit? And what about disease, rebellion, psychological collapse? You're not just building a ship, you're building a closed society that can never fail, ever. History shows us no society stays stable that long, not even on Earth. Now imagine one isolated in space, with no sky, no fresh air, no escape. Generational ships wouldn't be floating cities. They'd be floating tombs, echo chambers of forgotten dreams, drifting silently across a galaxy that never asked for us to begin with. So what about time dilation? What if we don't need to beat the speed of light, just get close? In theory, as you travel near light speed, time slows for you. A ship traveling to a star 10 light years away at 99% light speed might make the journey in what feels like a single year. To the crew, it's a shortcut, but to the rest of the universe, time marches on. By the time they return, if they ever do, Earth is gone. Everyone they knew is dust. The society they left behind is history, and the world they step into is alien. Time dilation is real, but it doesn't solve the problem. It replaces one tragedy with another. Even worse, traveling near the speed of light turns the universe into a hostile storm. Harmless atoms become high-energy particles. Cosmic rays become radiation cannons. Every bit of dust becomes a deadly projectile. You might not even see your destination before you're shredded into atoms, and all of this assumes we even solved the energy problem. Spoiler, we haven't. Not even close. Fusion reactors are decades behind schedule. Antimatter propulsion is still science fiction. And wormholes, good luck stabilizing those without collapsing the ship into a singularity. In the end, we face the same cold truth. There are no shortcuts, no warp drives, no hyperlanes, no rescue. The distances between stars aren't just far. They are, for all intents and purposes, infinite. And so we're left with one answer. This is it. Earth is our home, our cradle and our cage. If we want to survive, we don't need to run. We need to change. We must fix this planet, not escape it. Because if we don't, we won't get a second chance. Not on Mars, not in Alpha Centauri, not anywhere. The stars are beautiful. They inspire us. They remind us of what's possible, but they also remind us of our limits. So dream of space, imagine it, study it, but don't count on it to save us. That responsibility, it starts right here, right now, with us.